Today's video is going to be on seated twists. We can go ahead and get started. We're gonna move through those three different levels of seated twists. The first level, the mild level, being a symmetrical twist. It can be legs together, legs apart, Baddha Konasana legs. So for today we'll do legs together, a Parivrtta Dandasana. You can flex your feet and sit up nice and tall. So, just like in forward folds, you want to make sure that the spine isn't collapsing backwards, isn't compressed. So that might mean you have to elevate the hips. You want to be able to comfortably sit with just a little draw in through that upper sacrum, with the shoulders stacked right over the hips and your sternum, your chest lifted. So as you come into this Parivrtta Dandasana, this revolved staff pose, you have some options. Your left hand can start on your outer right leg. Maybe it comes to the outer ankle. Maybe you can grab for your outer foot. Then the right hand can either reach back, or it can start to come around to your outer left hip, maybe even around to the outer left thigh. And then you're pulling back with the right hand as you spiral, rotate the spine. You can gaze right over your right shoulder. After a few breaths on the first side, then you'll switch sides. Again, that right hand, if it's more upright, you might keep the left hand on the mat behind you. If you start to come more forward, the lean forward will be supported by the front hand. And then that back hand could maybe come around to your low back or your outer right hip, outer right thigh. And then you can pull back with the right hip, the right leg as you open your left shoulder. So you're trying to keep the lower body set as you spiral more through the mid-spine. And release. So after that symmetrical twist, the medium level would be an asymmetrical twist where the hips are down for support. So go ahead and do Marichyasana C. So you can bend that right knee. And then again, the hips need to be elevated because you feel like you're collapsed back. The lower ribs are moving away from your right thigh. Elevate the hips until those low ribs can come towards the right thigh. And you can sit nice and upright. So bringing this into that Marichyasana C, that twist, you can hug the right leg with your left arm, have the right hand behind you, would be option one. Option two, that left arm maybe crosses over the right leg. Option three, that left arm can start to come. First, there's this internal rotation around the leg, and then it can come back towards your left hip. And then if the left hand can grab, you have a bind, and then you want to try to lift the chest back up. Make sure you're not staying in that rounded place. And again, right shoulder opens, but the left hip, left foot pulls back to create resistance. After a few breaths on the first side, you'll switch to the second side. You'll be able to see the bind better if that's something you're working towards. You can have that left knee bent. And again, find that placement where the spine is upright so you can twist. If you try to twist from a rounded spine, you'll get stuck. There's not much ability to move. You really want that nice upright spine. So option one, you hug your left knee with your right arm. Keep the left hand back behind you. Option two, you bring the right arm outside of the left leg. And option three, if you can create that internal rotation and get your right elbow in front of the left shin, you might be able to bind around the shin. And then maybe the fingertips clasp behind you, and maybe even one hand grabs the opposite wrist, and then you're trying to lift the sternum back up, and as much as you open your left shoulder, pull back with your right knee, your right hip. Keep both sit bones grounded. Draw the left outer hip down. And then you can release that. And then coming into the third level, the more intense form of a twist, I'm going to do Pasasana, noose pose. And I like to use a blanket for this pose because my heels don't quite reach the mat. So this pose comes from a squatted position. And again, you want to form some support for the heels if they can't comfortably reach the mat. Even a block is okay. So the first place is to come to a twist here. And maybe it's with the hands down. If that feels okay, you can have hands at heart center, twisting towards the right first. And if that feels okay, there is a bind here as well. And you can start to wrap the left arm around the legs, and then maybe the right hand comes around for those left fingertips. Come into that fuller noose pose. You're still trying to press back through the heels. Make sure you can breathe. And after a few breaths, you can release the first side. And keep in mind, side to side may feel different. So feeling out the second side, hands could stay down as you start to twist. Hands can be at heart center. Or if you're moving into the bind, you'll start that right arm really coming down and around, and then the left fingertips might come around. And then as you press down through the heels, gaze over the top of your left shoulder. Let that go. So those are those 3 levels of seated twists. And as always, reach out with questions, be well, and hope to see you soon.